the Comic DF.
What is up, besties? It is your girl, the Karmic DF, back to you again with another reading. This time I did a pick a card. So before you just click off, yes, I do have a whole playlist of pop culture readings as well as conspiracies if this is not the video for you. However, you don't have to be spiritual in order to enjoy this video. Let me just put that out there right now. You can watch it too. You can enjoy it too, bestie. But this reading, this is probably, I got the intuitive nudge to do this, and then I realized that Mercury's retrograde from December 13th to January 1st, 4th? Anyway, people that know about Mercury retrograde, if you don't, it's when the boys come back to the yard. Or if you're a guy, when the girls come back to the yard, it's when your exes come back. And what do we need in a time like that? A reminder of why we cut them off to begin with. But I did set the intention to just really, as we're approaching the new year, but this is timeless, so whenever you see this, it's when you're meant to find closure. But this is, my goal here is to help you if there's that ex that just never leaves your freaking head. And you're like, how did that go wrong? Like, what did I miss? Like, why can't I get over this? There's just like that, like, it feels like you didn't get the closure you need. If that's you, if you're like, this one person, I just can't get it out of my head. Why did it go wrong? Or why did they treat me that way, etc., then this video is for you to help you be able to heal, to help you release this person, to help you realize your worth. Now, I've already started it, but by the time it's up, it'll be finished. And from what I see, it's just a lot of people with a lot of pain. So let's help heal so that we can bring in this new year coming up with a bang. Or if you're seeing this 3 years from now, then maybe it's your time to finally let that person go, finally understand what went wrong so that you can get the best relationship possible, the one that really fills your heart. So as always, this is a general reading. A lot of people will see this, so take what resonates. Don't let it take from you. You know, if it says that they were cheating, but you didn't know that they were cheating, then chances are that it's not for you. But this is for entertainment purposes only. If you enjoy it, please leave it a like. It really does support my channel. Hi, my regulars. Hey, besties. How y'all doing? I hope this is helpful for y'all as well. Let me know down in the comments below if it helped, if I got it right. Let me know if you enjoyed these so that I know if I add this into my collection that people will enjoy them as well. But as always, please like, comment, share, subscribe. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. All the links are down below. If you'd like to book a personal reading, links are down below. But let's get into it. What is up, besties? It is your girl, the Karmic DF, back to you again with another video. This time we are doing a pick a card on closure from your ex. Now, I had to make this a two-part video because Mercury's in retrograde. But this is timeless, so whenever you see it, it is for you. I have 4 piles to choose from. This will be basically giving you clarity and guidance towards, you know, why the breakdown happened and the closure that they never gave you that you rightly deserve. So clear your mind, choose from these 4 piles. We have pile 1, fluorite. Pile 2 is rose quartz. Pile 3, clear quartz. And pile 4, we have black obsidian. Now, if you're seeing this video, it means you are on the second video, which means that only pile 3 and 4 are here. So if you picked pile 1 or pile 2, there will be a link down below. Click that link and your pile will be in that video. As always, if you enjoyed these videos, please give it a like. It really does support my channel. Follow me down below. Share your story because I love to read them and people deserve to not feel alone and you deserve to not feel alone as well. As always, this is alleged and for entertainment purposes only. These are general readings, so take what resonates. Don't let the reading take from you. And I will see you guys at your pile. Hey, pile 3. So today we are going to give you closure on that ex that you cannot get out of your head, that you are ready to let go of. So as always, this is a general reading. Take what resonates and don't let the rest take from you. All right, spirit guides, what does pile 3 need to know? I'm hearing the song I'm Coming Clean by Hilary Duff. So I want to feel the thunder. I want to scream, let the rain fall down. I'm coming clean. So maybe you're trying to, yeah, I'm seeing someone wiping their hands. So maybe you're trying to wipe your hands of this situation. Maybe you're in this headspace now where you're like, I just want to let this go. But they still kind of linger in your energy a little bit. And you're like, why am I still hung up on this? Like, I should be over this. And you might be like, I'm hearing an analysis paralysis. So you could have air sign, sun, moon, rising, or your Mercury could be in Gemini or Virgo, but it's just giving me this like emotionally I've already detached from it, but mentally this person's still like I'm hearing living rent free in my head. So I feel like emotionally you kind of are over it. I just see like a door open and it's giving me the vibe of like maybe they gave you no closure at all. You know, like maybe they ghosted you or maybe they gaslit you so much that you're sitting here like, I don't even know what went wrong. I don't know left from right. And so emotionally you're probably like, yeah, like I didn't benefit from that relationship, situationship, whatever. I'm good. But mentally you're like, I can't get it out of my head. And what this feels like is just kind of like little fragments of their energy still left in your energy field. It feels like this was a really heavy connection, and so you are over it. If that's something that you're like, I don't know why I can't get over it, I feel like you are over it. It's the problem is it affected you very intensely, and so I feel like this is more about like you being afraid to step into a new relationship or stepping into loving somebody else, because I'm being drawn to my fool's gold and I feel like whoever this person was, they sold you a dream and it was bullshit. It was based on crap, because I'm hearing the song like roses really smell like poo. So I feel like they sold you a fantasy, they sold you a dream. I feel like they gaslit you a lot too. So if you were ever like, am I wrong? Like, am I crazy? Are they right? I feel like they said everything to kind of make you second guess your own intuition. Like I'm seeing a fog in my mind's eye. It's like I just don't even know if I'm making it up. Am I being too emotional? Am I being too this, too that? I feel like there was a lot of projections involved, which is why I feel like this person gaslit you a lot, which is why you're kind of, it's not that you're emotionally stuck on them, you're mentally stuck on them, because you're like, it's kind of this vibe of like, I didn't know someone could be so cruel, but because again, they've gaslit you so much, you're starting to think or feel like maybe you were cruel. Because I'm hearing the song, Why You Gotta Be So Cruel, Don't You Know I'm Human Too? And I'm getting the vibe of like, they sold you a lot of fantasies. They gaslit you a lot. It wasn't in your head. They were planning shit in your head so that you wouldn't leave. You know what I mean? But let's take a look at the cards. What kind of closure can we give you? Yeah, you dodged a bullet with this one. This person, I'm hearing very finicky. You would never be able to make them happy because they thrive in chaos. And so they don't know how to thrive with someone who's as peaceful and loving as you are. And so people that thrive in chaos, they try to create chaos, because what I'm seeing is like, you know how you felt like you had to walk on eggshells with this person? That is kind of like their life dynamic. It's like, I'm always waiting for the other shoe to drop and it's not dropping, so I'm going to create a moment so that the shoe will drop. Does that make sense? It's like the person who's like, "Oh, I only attract people that cheat on me," and then they continuously attract people that cheat on them. It's like they're projecting out what they're going to get, and so they're creating the problem. And therefore, it's like what's it called? It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. They kind of like they screw things up so that no one else can. It's like they wanted to beat you to the punch. That's what I'm getting more so. It's like they have a very wounded inner child, and I'm not making excuses for their behavior, but all I'm saying is they run from a good thing because they have a really strong abandonment wound, and it feels like if I were to really fall for you, then you have a chance of hurting me, and I cannot handle that. I cannot tolerate that. I'm not strong enough for that. This feels like someone who's very emotionally avoidant, who just really can't get down to your depths. And I think it really triggered them because they realized how special you were, and they realized what a prize you were. And so it was like, I got to make sure to keep them on their toes, to make them feel small, to make them feel less than, so that they don't leave me. That's the vibe of this person. They feel very childlike. So I really feel like you did dodge a bullet, because they were always going to play games because they don't know what peace looks like. They don't know what calm looks like. And you brought that, and that terrorized them and it scared them. Your peace scared their chaos. That's really the closure that you need. You are never going to be able to fix them because they need to feel like things are spinning out of control in order to feel like they're in control. Does that make sense? They only know pain. And so it's like I'm being shown like a wound on the body, and it's like you knew how to heal that wound. You had the right ointments, the medical antibacterial, but the problem was you were putting it on their wound. They needed to heal that wound on their own, and so you put it on, and then it hurt, right? Because like the bite of antibacterial, you know what I mean? They're giving me like a metaphor here. So like even though you were healing the wound, it was triggering them at the same time, which made them pull back and made them lash out and project. So you didn't do anything wrong. They just couldn't handle the immense amount of love that you had inside. Yeah, it's like you were willing to give everything. They were willing to give nothing because they needed to feel like they were in control, and they didn't feel like they were in control when it came to you. They also didn't feel like they deserved you. And so that's kind of why they like subconsciously destroyed this connection, because it's like, you're too good for me. Yeah, because now I'm hearing the song, I'm way too good to you. You take my love for granted. I just don't understand it. So you're in this headspace where you're like, what did I do wrong? Like, I did everything possible. I tried to make you feel better. I tried to be there for you. I tried to build you up. But here's the thing. It's not your job to make somebody else see your worth. They should just see it. And this person saw your worth. They definitely saw your worth. Like, I'm seeing like goo goo gaga love eyes, like lust for sure. But you triggered the shit out of them, and they don't feel like they're in control of their lives, but they want to feel like they're in control of their lives. And so they will destroy things just so like they could prove that they were right. So like, for instance, destroying the relationship and being like, see, I knew that relationship wasn't going to work. It's like they create their own havoc so that they can say, I knew it was coming. You know what I mean? They didn't feel like they were good enough for you. You kind of like shed a light on all of their wounds. And even though you were trying to heal it, it's kind of given like feral cat syndrome, where it's like, or like a dog that's been abused, like those ASPCA commercials. It's like, yeah, we're kind of hardwired to love, but if we've been abused for a long amount of time, we're going to assume everyone's got negative connotations. You know what I mean? And I feel like this person's been through a lot of crap. And like, I'm not defending their behavior. I'm simply saying, when all you know is trouble, you're going to try and search for trouble. And if there's no trouble to be had there, you're going to create it so that you can verify to your mind that all there is trouble. And I'm hearing the song, I Knew You Were Trouble, when you walked in. So maybe you kind of got this vibe, but you kind of gaslit yourself a little bit because you're like, I see their potential. I want to fix them. I want to show them that there is love and that not everything is ugly and it's not always bad, but they couldn't reach you where you were at. You can only reach someone with the depth in which you've reached yourself. This person has never had the time to really figure out who they are, what they want, what matters to them. They've always been in kind of like a fight or flight response. They've been surviving and not living. And so that is what you were up against from the rip. So this has nothing to do with you. This person needs to heal on their own and start to realize that people can be safe. Certain people can be, as long as we have solid boundaries. And I think you were also meant to learn from them your own worth and how you kind of sleep on your own morals and your own boundaries, because it's like in the name of love for you. You have a really, really big heart. And so it's like you see the potential in people, but you kind of ignore their shadow. You kind of like, you see what they are, but it's actually mirroring your potential. And because you don't have the best sense of self, because you're so loving, you're humble, but like to your own detriment. And so it's like this person was mirroring back to you your own worth. And in order for you to see that, you had to go, oh, hell no, like I can't be treated like this. This is BS, you know? So I don't know if you took your energy back or they ghosted you, but it definitely feels like there was a lot of chaos. There was a lot of words that were said, a lot of things that can't be taken back. You know what I mean? I think this person really just kind of like, I'm seeing like fragmentation. It's a dark mirror oracle card. So I feel like this person kind of like took a piece of you, and you feel like, you know, like part of my soul went with you, and now I feel like I'm lost because of all the damage. So for this pile, I would definitely recommend doing a guided, what is it called? Guided cord cutting meditation. And if any of you need a link, just put it in the comments that you need the link, because I'll forget, and then I'll just link the one that I use. But I feel like this person kind of did a number on you, but they were meant to teach you that, yeah, because I'm hearing the song No More Baby, I'm a Do Right. They were meant to teach you your self-worth. They were meant to teach you how to love yourself. They were meant to teach you that love is not outside of you. Love has always been within you. So This pile, I definitely don't see you getting any closure yet from them in particular. I think, again, this was meant to make you go like, no, no more. I deserve better than this. I don't care what your excuses are. I don't care what background you came from. I've been through some stuff and look at how I behave. So this is really about you stepping into your own. This person wants to reach out, and I'm definitely getting a heavy don't talk to them. Yeah, because now I feel like they know that this is their pattern of behavior. It's giving so much hot and cold, and I feel like you really couldn't speak your truth because it's like Jekyll and Hyde. You didn't know what version of them you were going to get. I feel like they play a tug and pull game of love. Take this if it resonates, but I'm seeing someone that's like very hot and cold. Like I'm going to love bomb you. I'm going to gaslight you. I'm going to disappear. I'm going to make you always question where you stand with me so that you could never think about where you're at. Does that make sense? And so now they're in this place where like the storm has already been over and now they're reflecting and they're like, shit, like I did it again. I did what I usually do. I should come back. But I'm seeing like all smoke and mirrors. If this person does come back, right now it's reversed, but I feel like it's your spirit team being like, this person can't come back because you're still wounded. You might say yes to them and they're no good for you and you know that, but you got love for them and you have a really big heart. But if they do come in, it's going to be in this like, I don't want to deal with the pain of what I've done. And so I'm going to play the game again. It's giving me like I'm on a treadmill, there's something dangling in front of me and I need to have it. But once I catch it, I'm not really interested anymore. You are their muse, but they can't reach the depth of real love. So they're going to constantly rinse, wash, repeat this cycle. And you deserve better than that. And you know you deserve better than that. So I know part of you is still, your heart is still healing from this. I think this really did a number on you. Probably did a number on your self-esteem. You might be in a place now, take it if it resonates, but you might be in a place now where you're like, I don't even know if I want to date. I don't know if I can trust myself. I don't know if I can trust other people. I'm hearing time heals all wounds. Let it kind of play out for you, but stay away from this person because right now they're in this headspace of like, crap, like I lost a good thing. I should reach out again. But what I'm hearing is like everything they say, it just doesn't land on anything. Like I'm being drawn to the clear quartz and how like, it's clear, you know, kind of like rain, kind of like air, kind of like things that don't have any substance. And this person, the only substance I'm seeing right now is them thinking about all of the time you guys shared and all of the memories you already had. But it wasn't even healthy, happy memories all the time. Sometimes it was fighting. Sometimes it was verbally abusive. And I think you know this, but they're just very stubborn. I could see fixed signs for this group. So Taurus, heavy Taurus, Leo, even Aquarius with that ghosting energy. I don't really feel so much Scorpio. Possibly air signs too with the level of disconnection here. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius and Taurus. I'm feeling a very heavy Aquarius and Taurus in this energy. But it also could be Leo with that King of Wands in reverse. But I feel like this is just someone who love bombs and who gaslights because they have the emotional maturity of like an 8-year-old. There's some stunted growth here and stunted trauma, probably due to childhood, something early on, maybe a dad wound. I could feel that a little bit. But your closure doesn't lie with this person. Your closure lies with yourself because I feel like you've been on this merry-go-round quite a few times. So you know that they're going to come back in and just do the same shit on repeat. So this is more of kind of like a, hey, they may reach out or you may feel like you have a moment where you want to reach out. But remember, they were all words. They were never foundation. They were all talk. They were never building and growth. And I feel like you have more of like a Virgo energy of like, I want to build with you. I want to create something with you. This is not the person you're meant to do it with. This person is very emotionally immature. Like I'm seeing like a 7-8-year-old child in a grocery store, like throwing things on the floor, throwing a temper tantrum. This is where their emotional intelligence is at. You deserve better than that. You're way more evolved than this person. And I think you would agree that it felt more like a parent-child dynamic than it did a love relationship. This person couldn't step up. They really just projected every time you wanted them to step up and made you think it was you. And so I think the closure that you need to know is that it wasn't you and that your intuition was spot on and that your heart was in the right place. But this person saw where the wounds were, whether consciously or subconsciously, and they went for them so that you never really thought about, do I deserve better than this? Do I deserve more? Are they ticking all the boxes in what I want? And Spirit's also kind of nudging like, hey, what is it that you want? And don't stray away from that because that's the only way you're going to get it. And how are you treating yourself? Because if you don't love yourself, then you're going to continuously get people that mirror that back to you. And I feel like when you were dating this person, it's not so much that you didn't love yourself. It's just that you had so much love to give that it just became at the expense of yourself, and spirit doesn't want that for you. So if this had like a really quick ending where like they ghosted, or just it was like boom, it's over, and it's like, whoa, it's because it was meant to die off, because you were meant to see your worth. You were meant to go within. Yeah, I'm hearing the song, See, I Had to Go Within. I think right now you are probably healing. You're probably trying to clear out this cycle. And I feel like you know that you deserve better. It's just that you haven't met them yet, and that's okay. But we need to start getting more, I'm hearing finicky. So like picky, we need to get more picky about dating moving forward. You know, like, sure, they talk a good talk, but is it matching their actions? Because this person was never going to live up to what they were talking about. Yeah, this feels like it could have been a fated connection. I do feel like they're thinking about reaching out, but I feel like maybe you either put the hammer down eventually, or you were just like enough, or maybe like you defended yourself eventually, and that could have been why they ghosted if they ghosted, or maybe you just bounced. But it's feeling like now that you've taken your power back, they're trying to figure out the right time to come back in. And it's just the same thing on repeat. Like, notice how it's like the little devil guy right here. It's like, when can I slither back in? That's the vibe of this person. But what they have to offer is nothing, because look at how exhausted they are. Look at how battle fatigued they are, right? They got nothing to offer you. They're going to sell you a fantasy with this Ace of Cups, like, oh, I love you, I miss you, you're wonderful, you're this, you're that. This person does care about you. If that helps you like heal at all, this person does care about you. They do want to be with you in some weird way. It's just that they're damaged. They either have daddy issues or like mommy issues. I feel like it's more so daddy for most of you guys, but there is some mommy issues going on here where like the mom was maybe either aggressive or demanding, or just she was very in her masculine energy, and so he doesn't know what, or she, them, whatever they are to you, they don't know how to tap into that loving, giving, open, vulnerable energy. And so you will never get that from them because they're guarded. Like, I'm being drawn to this picture, and now I'm being drawn to the movie Neighbors, where like they look at each other but the fences are up. And so it's like, yeah, like if you've ever seen Home Improvement, the neighbor where you only see the top of his eyes because the fence, that's the vibe of this person. It's like you're never going to get through the fence. So I would block them on all social medias if you haven't already. Block their phone number. I'm hearing like blacklist, like get rid of them, because it's like they're trying to find the right way to sneak back in. I feel like for this group, there's a heavy emphasis on being mindful, because this person, out of all the groups I've read so far, this feels like the most likely to reach back out because they know they're toxic. They know they're the problem, and people have made excuses for them kind of like their whole life. It's giving like learned helplessness. And so I think they've had spouses prior to you that let them get away with murder and let them do dumb shit because they'd be like, oh, it's due to my childhood, or oh, I act this way because my dad didn't love me, or oh, I act this way because someone broke my heart. And it's like they've always got excuses, but they never work on themselves. And this person has no desire to work on themselves because they have a lot of people around them that support this behavior, that support them. Maybe they have like their group of friends and they're like, oh yeah, that person was toxic and you're the best. And it's just like maybe their friends just kind of go with it. This feels like someone who's like kind of on the top of the pyramid with the friend group, or if not, they're the annoying one. But again, it's the one that they always say yes to because it's like they have to. So they have a lot of yes men around them, so they're not learning, they're not evolving, they're not growing, and they're not going to do that for you. I do love that the Ace of Swords is reversed, though, because it means that even though their heart kind of aches for you a little bit, which could be the closure you need, like, haha, you lost me, and now you miss me, it sucks. Because I'm hearing the song, I promise you this, you're going to miss me, you're going to miss me. So you might be more so in the tail end. You might be more in the anger stage, or more like, I just wish you would stop being in my head, like, F you. Yeah, because I'm hearing the song, F you, and your mom, and your sister, so you might be done. So this might just be a warning of like, hey, they might come back out because their heart misses you, but they're not going to give you what it is that you need. But this person is so emotionally underdeveloped that you never stood a chance. So your closure is knowing that you were the grown one, you were the adult, and they were the child, and you dodged a bullet. And now, so long as you pour into yourself, you'll be a better match for somebody else. But we got to work on those boundaries, and we got to work on that self-worth, because if you feel like you need to save people, then you're going to continue to attract people like this. But if you realize that you've done all the work yourself, and I believe that you already realize this, then you don't need to be fixing anybody else. That's their job. That's their karma. That's their work. Just like you had to do it on your own, so doesn't this person. It's not your job. The only way I could see this working out, I'm going to be honest, like 0.001% of you, maybe in like 10 years, when they've done some real self-reflection, went to therapy, stopped dating. But this person, I feel like they're a serial dater, and they're probably just going to find someone else if you say no. They probably, for some of you, they might have already had. Maybe they're someone that's a chronic cheater, you know, like a you up text is what I'm seeing. So maybe they hit you up at like 1 o'clock in the morning, even though they got a girlfriend. Because now I'm hearing the song, Lips of an Angel by Hinder. So some of you might be involved in like a third party, or they're dating someone else now, but they're talking to you, or they cheated on you. You would already know. So maybe you were into this person, but they were seeing someone else, but they were promising you they were going to leave that person, or you were the main person and then they cheated on you. I don't know. There's some third party energy. Take it if it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. But this person doesn't know how to be alone, because again, they have the emotional intelligence of a child. And so you dodged a bullet. Let's take a look at the back deck energy. Yeah, there's something to do with the home life for sure. There is something to do with childhood and their home life. They also might have bad coping mechanisms. So maybe they drink too much. Maybe they smoke to escape. Maybe they play video games to escape. Maybe they watch too much TV. But it's someone that does everything in their power to avoid themselves. They do everything in their power to avoid what hurts. And then that's why they are so quick to lash out at other people, because they are a ticking time bomb of wounds. And that's what you were up against this entire relationship. You were trying to put ointment on a bullet wound, and that shit hurt. And so they lashed out, because they are just so, it's like their personality is now their wounds. They have adopted this mental behavior of this victim mentality, this save me energy. And this person's just, they're no good. Yeah, I think they were cruel with their words. You had enough. This could have been a counterpart situation, like karmic but fated. Yeah, I think now you've gone within. You're like, I'm taking my energy to myself. I'm sick of your shit. But I think sometimes you think about them and you're like, why am I thinking about them again? I don't want to be thinking about them. Or you're thinking about them and you're like, I know they'll never change. I don't know why I even still have love for this person. I don't really feel that you have love for this person. I think this really took you through a ride. Like, I'm seeing someone on a crazy roller coaster that's like, holy hell, what did I just put myself through? So I feel like it's not that you're not over them. It's just that they're still in your energy because of everything that happened. You're not over everything that went down, but you are over them. I think you are. I just don't think that you don't realize that it's your head that's thinking about him or her instead of your heart. It's not your heart. Your heart's not in this anymore. So you are over this. I would definitely recommend a guided meditation. Just search one on YouTube, guided meditation for cord cutting, and you'll find one. But this person's just still in your energy because they're still thinking about you, which is probably why you're thinking about them. I think if you had a choice, you would never think about them again. I think you're kind of over this compared to the rest of the groups. But they're watching your social media and trying not to get caught. If you block them, they have fake Instagrams, fake Facebooks, whatever. They're still watching you and they're trying to figure out how to get back in. But with this devil card being at the back of the deck, basically the summary of this reading, they will turn your life upside down all over again. So I know that it hurts. It's bullshit what you went through. I can feel it. It's crap. But this person was a man child, woman child, whatever. And they were never going to grow. They were always meant to make you realize your own worth. They were always meant to make you see that you deserve more than you settle for. And I'm being drawn to 5 and 1, which reduces to 6, which is transition. So I feel like you're removing yourself from a period of settling for less than you deserve, of making excuses for people that don't deserve you. And you're moving into a space of knowing your worth, knowing that you are that bitch, that boo, that man, whatever, that they, that them, whoever you are. You're stepping into a place where you're like, you know what? I'm going to stay on my throne and you can either meet me here or I'll wait because I'm good. And that's great energy. I love that for you. If you're not in that yet and you're like, girl, what are you talking about? I don't feel that way. Then you're stepping into that because this is reversed. So you might not be there quite yet. Some of you already are. Some of you are working your way through that. But keep keeping your energy to yourself. Keep focusing on your wants and needs. This person is never going to change. If you needed to hear that, I got you, boo. This person's never going to change. They love being the victim of their story. They don't know how to work any other way. And they were always going to hurt you because they're hurting. Hurt people is what this group really needs to hear. This person was hurting. It had nothing to do with you. They were always going to lash out because you are shining a mirror on so many of their wounds. And this person is like the epitome of wounds. It's like, I don't, this is a movie. If you guys have ever seen Halloween Town, they make a person out of frogs. It's kind of giving me that. Like, there's a potion and they make this guy, and then when they like say a spell, all of these frogs fall out of this like cape that is hidden. It's giving me that. It's like you think you've kissed a prince, but in reality, it's a frog. You know what I mean? So honestly, like, look, like man or woman, it doesn't matter which one you are, or they, whatever. Knight, queen. A queen doesn't belong with a knight. A queen belongs with a king. Whether you identify as female, woman, look at that. They're headed in different directions because they're different people that need and want different things. And I definitely think you've turned your head to this person to an extent. I think they're just living in your mind rent-free because you still have things to heal from, because it was very tumultuous. It was very up and down, crazy. It was like a ride. It was never just calm, and they just couldn't be what you needed because they aren't even there for themselves. They will do everything they can to escape themselves. And I feel like in order to be with you, they had to face themselves, and they did not want to do that. And so they projected all of their wounds onto you. So if you're still struggling with this and you're still like, I can't get over it, then I want you to think about all the, and I know this is hard, so give yourself grace, but I want you to think about all the things that they projected at you. So maybe they were like, you are selfish, you are vindictive, you are this. I think you'll notice a pattern that everything that they've thrown at you is exactly what fits them. And I think that'll help you set yourself free, because I think the weight of what they've said is very heavy on you, because you're like, that's not who I am. Like, I have a really big heart. I was here for you. What are you talking about? But they were talking about themselves. They weren't talking about you. So I would say go backwards and think about the things that they've said to you. And then, yeah, it literally says reckless talk on here. Too blunt, rigid, opinionated. And that's not you. You're the Queen of Wands in reverse. You're someone that pulled your energy back and realized that you deserve better. And maybe the universe took them out of your life, or maybe you called it quits. Either way, this person's never going to level up, and you would always feel like you're, like, this person's your child. Like, you'd have to make excuses. You'd have to apologize. Maybe you had them around your friends, and you'd be like, I'm so sorry for their behavior. Like, I know this is embarrassing. So, I mean, as long as you continue to realize your worth, then you'll attract better moving forward. I think this was meant to make you realize that just because you are love and light and you have a beautiful soul doesn't mean that everybody else is entitled to it. And that doesn't mean that everybody in this lifetime is going to level up just because you did. You know what I mean? This person just has no desire to do anything other than have people, you know, fawn over them, take care of them, help them make excuses for their BS. This person just, I don't see them even evolving in this lifetime. So you deserve better. You already know that you deserve better. So just keep doing that inner work so that you can align to someone else that's better suited for you. But this person in this lifetime, I don't see them leveling up. Although I feel like most of you are already over this. For all of you and for the rest of you that aren't over this, this person's just going to be miserable for the rest of their life. I'm going to be honest with you. At best, they might hit melancholy or, you know, monotonous type of life, but they're not headed in the direction that you want to head with your life. So you really did, you're on your way to bigger and better things. I hear a glow up is in store for you. I think things are going to start to blossom. I'm being drawn to the flowers on here and how flowers bloom. When you get rid of things that don't serve you, things come in that do. So I feel like you're going to start to become a magnet for things that are actually better for you, because you're telling the universe what you will and will not put up with. And you said enough is enough with this one, and you did the right thing. And I'm proud of you. If you haven't heard that, I'm proud of you for getting out of this, and you deserve better, and you know that. And so your closure really is just understanding that you were up against a mountain of trauma, and it was never going to work because they were never going to open up. And this is not you. This is not your fault. This is not because you did something wrong. This is not because you're not enough. You were always enough, and that was the problem for them. And that's not a you issue for being amazing and they get triggered by that. That's not your problem. So I'm going to leave it at this. If you like it, please leave it a like. It really does support my page. I hope that this helped give you the closure that you were looking for. Honey, you are a queen bee or a boss boy, whatever you identify as, and you will find what it is that you're looking for, so long as you keep your boundaries up and you keep remembering that what you want is out there. Don't settle until you find that. You know what I mean? But I feel like you guys have a great ability to heal and to make lemonade out of lemons. So I feel like moving forward, you guys are going to be on a good path. So I don't feel there's much to worry about. The only thing is I feel like they might reach out because it's Mercury retrograde. And if they do, just remember that words are just words. They're not actions. And this person has no intention of following their words with actions. And you deserve better, and you already know that. So I hope this was helpful. Subscribe if you're new here. Thank you guys so much. And I will see you guys in my next. What is up, pile 4? How are you? Let's check in. How can we give you some closure in regards to your ex? Now, as always, this is general reading, so take what resonates. Don't let the rest take from you. I'm noticing how messy my deck is, so I feel like there's a lot of like I'm having trouble I'm having trouble speaking, so I feel like you had a blocked throat chakra when you were dating this person, or they told you like what you could and couldn't do, what you could and couldn't say, because like my throat feels like crap out of nowhere, and I was having trouble shuffling my deck, which is giving me the vibe of like I'm having trouble with this pile. Oh my God, maybe you feel so confused that you're like, I don't even know up from down. I'm gonna pull cards. I don't even know, bro. What the hell? All right, closure for pile 4. Well, it didn't work. That's obvious. Okay, this could be why. Okay. So let me. Yeah. Gaslighter again. Wow, we got a lot of gaslighters happening here. So this person feels like someone that like looks on the outside like they're good. Like what I'm being shown is like, you know how like in a new house, like when it's being shown, they'd have like some of them, this is just an example, like that bowl of fruits, but like the fruit's fake. It's giving that. It's like the apple looks real and beautiful and delicious, but if you bite into it, it's plastic, it's fake. So maybe you would say that this person was fake. Maybe this pile feels the most likely to have been cheated on. Yeah, because I'm hearing the song Womanizer. So take that if it resonates. If you don't feel like you've been cheated on, you would know about it. I'm not outing anything like that. Not my place. But I'm hearing the song Why Should I Care? Because you weren't there when I was scared. I was so alone. I feel like this person just never... It's giving 80-20. They never showed up for you. They never validated your emotions. I feel like you tried to have conversations with them to fix things, and they were like, I feel like they like just kind of pushed you off. Just like, this is giving someone who like just doesn't want to hear it. I don't want to hear what you have to say. I don't care. You're being extra. You're being too much. This is someone who cannot tap into their emotions at all. This is someone who's incredibly logical over emotional, which is funny because, you know, you see the Knight of Cups right there, but just because someone's a water sign doesn't mean that they touch their emotions. So they could be a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising. But honestly, this is just giving me someone who talked a lot of talk, especially with the Ace of Swords right next to it, but didn't have much to back it up. And I feel like you felt very safe originally, like you... Or maybe you were just open to being vulnerable, because I feel like this vulnerable energy, and then it's like, why did I waste it on this person? Like all this work put in, why did I waste it on this person? But this person had no desire to, this is given F-boy energy. Now that doesn't mean for all of you that this person was an F-boy, F-girl. It just gives me the vibe of like, I don't want to go into the heart place. It's like, it's giving me like an adult that wants to have fun, but like, to the point that they're being kind of childish. Like, this feels like a Knight of Cups, but that's also like 36 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is someone that should be more evolved, but they choose not to because I feel like they have fun being childlike. This is someone that probably, you know, goes out too much, parties too much. Maybe they hang out with their friends too much and kind of do whatever they can to escape reality. Heavy on the Pisces. They could have Pisces placements because it's giving me the escapism energy. I feel like this person's very not in touch with reality. I feel like they have a learned helplessness. I feel like they don't like touching the depths of anything. Like, I'm being drawn to this little stream here. It's like you're and don't take this as a weight thing, because I know if this is a woman I would feel that way. You're a beluga whale, they're a minnow. You know what I mean? They're meant to be in the pond, you're meant to be in the Atlantic. You know what I'm saying? Like, they could never reach your depths. And so whenever you would get, you know, more, so maybe this was more of a situationship for most of you, but if you were in a relationship, I feel like maybe they wouldn't get to the next level. So maybe they were never willing to go to engagement or go to marriage, or maybe you wanted kids and a family. They didn't want to do that. Maybe you wanted to move in. They were like, nah, I just want my bachelor pad. This is giving someone who just wants to be like the life of the party, who wants to have fun and party. They don't want to get real. They don't want to get serious. This feels like I'm seeing like Peter Pan in my mind's eye. It's like they want to be a child forever. I'm hearing the song Forever Young. I think they correlate marriage, kids, relationships. They correlate that with like, because I'm seeing like the scene from Little Rascals where they're like, girls, ew, gross. This person's very much, I have to laugh a little bit because it's just like, I think if they had a choice, they would forever be a child. I'm being drawn to someone I know that's 50 years old and a man, and they still have yet to learn how to be an adult, and it's giving that. I don't know what age this person is, but I think me and you can both agree that whatever their age is doesn't match up to how they behave. I think if they did cheat, it's literally because they have no desire to be an adult. They correlate adult with like, oh my God, that requires bills and not having fun. And they don't realize that you can be an adult and still have fun. You can pay bills, own a house, have a wife, and still have fun. You know, like you could be married and go paintballing with your wife. Like you can do those things. And I feel like this person, I wonder if like either their parents never got married or there was an ugly divorce, because this person has like I'm in their energy and it's like, ugh, marriage, it gives me the skeevies. Ugh, committing forever, it gives me the skeevies. It's like this person thinks that relationships means giving up my freedom, giving up fun, and you deserve better than someone who thinks that relationship means boring. You know what I mean? Like this person is just not, they're not very evolved. And I know that you feel like you got the short end of the stick and you're like, I lost so much time. Like I put so much work into this. I invested so much into this, but you were evolving and they were not. And they are very underdeveloped emotionally. And so I'm seeing a theme here of like all the groups where all these people have one thing in common. They can talk. They can talk. This person could sell you a fantasy, and they had a way with their words that made you become very vulnerable. And I think that's why this one's so hard for you. I feel like they kind of made you feel like you couldn't be grounded in reality. It's like they gave you a dream. They sold you a fantasy. Oh, I'm Prince Charming. I'm doing this for you. I'm doing that for you. But I feel like it was a lot of love bombing followed by a lot of wishy-washiness. So maybe they were like, oh, I love you, I'm going to give you the world. And then they'd ghost you for like 3 days. And then they'd say, oh, it's because my phone died. Or, oh, I'm out with my friends. Or it's just like they're not dependable. They're not reliable. They make excuses for their behavior. It's like dealing with a child. And they don't want to do the work. This is someone that is very content with being where they're at. They have no desire. I think you wanted more out of life, and this person likes the idea of you, but they didn't want to do the leveling up that would be required in order to be with you. I feel like for this pile in the beginning, it was probably better. It was probably good. I bet the sex was probably good. Maybe it was very romancy and lusty in the beginning, but I think you very soon found out that there was no growth to be had. So maybe a lot of you were in a situationship where they were like, maybe they had no problem, getting intimate, but God forbid they put a label on it. You know what I mean? This feels like someone that's just like, I want to keep my options open. I want to live my best life. Relationships mean like ball and chain. This is given like, alpha male energy, but like the toxic ones on TikTok that shouldn't be given advice. That's very clear that they have mommy and daddy issues. That's this person. This person was never going to level up. They were never interested in being an adult. They were never interested. This is the type, I'm sorry if you can, if you're like this, I'm not judging anybody, but this is giving me the vibe of like, I'm going to be 45, get married, and I'm not going to do shit. I'm going to have my spouse do the laundry, do the dishes, clean. I'm going to do the bare minimum. I'm going to work. I'm going to go home. And if you complain, how dare you? Like, this person has a learned helplessness. So maybe they had a mom that did everything for them. That's a possibility too. Take it if it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. But it's just giving this vibe of like, I want to be a child forever. Like, I'm hearing the Toys R Us theme song in my mind's eye, or in my whatever. I'm having so much trouble feeling grounded in this energy, which I said in the beginning, which is funny because black obsidian is for grounding, but it's also protection. So again, I feel like this person sold you a lot of fantasies, but I think you had a moment at one point and you were like, wait a second. I think you got caught up in the sauce for a little bit because you're like, oh, so maybe they were really attractive too, like dreamy, had all the right words to say, heavily drawn to this Ace of Swords is like, come over here, girl, boy, whatever. I feel like they were smooth. Like, I'm hearing the song Smooth Operator, but I feel like they played to your dreams, but they had no ability to back it up. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to be what you needed, but at the same time they didn't, because they were kind of thinking 20 steps ahead as you were, but they were thinking of it in a way of like, this is, because I just keep being drawn to like the movie Little Rascals, where they're like, girls, ew, this person has like a childlike mind. Okay, for a small portion of you, like maybe 5%, there's a possibility that this person, oh, I burped, so it's possibly true. For a small portion of you, if you had an inclination that maybe like, so say you're a girl, for instance, and this was a guy, and they had a way of like being rude towards women, but like worshiping men. If you had this feeling that they were gay or a lesbian, I feel like you're right. Or bisexual, because it's giving the vibe of like, you know, I keep being drawn to like those TikToking men that are like, women's vaginas are gross and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, dude, do you even like women? And it's probably because they're like closeted homosexuals. For some of you, take it if it resonates. I'm not telling you something you don't already know. You would have been like, is it possible you're into your guy friends? Is it possible you don't like me because you don't like my sex? Like, it's possible for a few of you that they have gay tendencies, and that could have been an issue as well. But for the rest of you, this is just like a dreamy, I live in my mind and not reality. I live in the clouds, not reality. I think that's why I was having so much trouble tapping into this group, because it's just so much like, you know how like you have a bad day and then you sit on your couch and you fantasize for like an hour of like, maybe you're on a talk show and you're telling your story and you're having a dream that like you're married and you got 3 kids and you're rich and you won the lottery. And it's like, this is this person's reality. Their reality is their fantasies. Like, they're never really here in the 3D reality. They're dreaming up a lot of shit. I feel like they have this like ego too that's like completely unfounded. It's like they have these really big dreams, but they don't do anything in order to create these big dreams. So this could be someone who's like, I don't mean to drag men, but I'm getting a lot of examples of like men that do stupid shit. This is giving like a man that's on a fantasy league that breaks his TV because his guy didn't win and he feels like he's part of the team, but in reality, like, he lives in his mom's basement, doesn't have a job, and like just stays on the internet from afternoon till 3 o'clock in the morning because he can't even have a morning schedule. Like, this feels like a child in an adult's body. Like, I've said this with most piles, but holy crap, have you dodged a bullet, because I've seen all these groups had a common theme of like men or women, whatever you're clicking on for, of having this childlike energy of not wanting to grow up. This one feels that way the most. This one feels like they are perfectly content in a dream state. I am getting Aries energy, so, or cardinal signs. So like Cancer, Aries, Libra, hold up, Capricorn. Because it feels like I go in quick. That sounds wrong. That's what she said. I feel like this person's very immature because I'm having all these immature thoughts. Like I feel like one of the boys in like middle school. It's like, oh, you said penis. Like this person's really immature. And I'm sorry to laugh because I'm sure like your heart got broken, but I think that's where spirit wants you to get. Realizing how immature they are, realizing how most of their crap is not in reality, and they just live in this dream fallacy world that's not even real. Like, do they believe in like conspiracies that aren't even legit, like based in anything? Because I'm being drawn to like, because I believe in conspiracies, but there are some that are very clearly just that. And it just feels like this person's just not living in reality. Like, it's giving tinfoil hat on steroids, like the fish are gay. Like, I'm seeing Alex Jones and it's like the fish are gay. And listen, I'm a fan of some of the things he says, but this person just feels like they live in their own world. It's like they are on Earth, but they got a whole different idea of what Earth is. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry to laugh, but I feel like that's where your guides want you to get, because it's like this person just doesn't even have their feet in the real world. It's definitely feeling Pisces energy for sure, but this is just not someone that is reliable, dependable. It's not someone that would ever actually have your back, because they don't even have their own back. They don't know how to do that. There's this heavy learned helplessness. This could be a mama's boy. It's giving mama's boy energy. Maybe the dad wasn't around, so they didn't learn how to do, manly things if they're a man. Or if it's a woman, then again, it's just this learned helplessness of like, again, maybe they didn't have the dad around, and maybe the mom was really miserable, and so it's just like they learned how to escape. This is a very escapist pile. This person does not want to be in the real world, because then they would have to deal with a lot of their emotions. They don't want to. They want to be very funny. It's giving me like I'm wearing a mask and I'm the jokester of the group, but I'm the jokester because I don't want to deal with my emotions. I don't even want to go there. It's like maybe this person's been through some dark shit and they've just kind of put a cap on it. It's like this person has a very blocked root chakra. They're not in reality. And so that's what you are up against. This person just has a bunch of fantasies. They would have a whole ass marriage with you, but in their mind. Like, everything is founded on escapism. This could be someone that smokes a lot. This could be someone that drinks a lot. This could be someone that plays video games a lot. It's just someone that's never here. And so it has nothing to do with you. There's just a lot of trauma this person has. Some of you, I feel like it's a 50-50 split. Some of you don't even know about this person's history. They probably just kept everything light and fun because they would never go there. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to deal with it. So for some of you, you probably got there and you know their history, but they don't like talking about it. They love to keep it light. This is a group of people that love to play it lighthearted. They don't want to go deep. And so you were never going to get that version of them because they don't want to go there. It's like, I just keep seeing someone with like a door and it's like a closet and it's like, I don't want to open that door. I'm locking that door. I'm deadbolting that door. I'm not going in there. That can stay in the past where it belongs. And that's great. Like, we should keep the past in the past where it belongs, but we also have to acknowledge it, feel it, and heal it. This person doesn't even want to do that. So you are up against someone that lives in their fantasy, not in the reality. And it was never going to ground because this person's not grounded. And I bet you felt very ungrounded being around them or being with them because this person's got a lot of trauma and it's not your job and it's not your responsibility to fix them. Because I'm hearing the song Fix You by Coldplay. You need to be more concerned about fixing and healing yourself. It's not your job to fix this person. This person doesn't even want to go there. Again, it's like it's all laughters. Like, it's all laughs, whatever. It's hard to channel in this energy. It's so foggy. But it's like, behind the mask, if I could, I'd cry. Behind the mask, if I could, I'd fall apart. But I can't do that. That's not allowed. That's not realistic. That's not... This person cannot even touch their emotions. They think it's weakness. They think that they'd be less than if they felt their feelings. And so they came to you with, like, I'm seeing a Santa Claus bag, but it's full of, like, trauma, events, things that they've been through, and you are never going to be able to help them heal that. This person, and I'm not digging on them because most people do need this person needs therapy. For sure they need therapy. They need someone safe and emotionally detached from them so that they can actually really heal whatever happened in their past. But they got a lot of shit to deal with, and you were up against way too much. This was never going to ground. It was always going to be a fantasy. Yeah, I'm hearing songs, is this just real life? Is this just fantasy? I think you were always like, where the hell is this going? Like, we're up, we're down, we're here, we're there. You love me today. You're distant tomorrow. Next week, you're going to want to get married. Then after that, you're going to want to take some time off. And it's like, I don't even know who you are. And you're right. You didn't know who they were because they tried to give you the best version of themselves because, again, they didn't want to deal with their trauma. And so when we wear a mask and we try to be the best version of ourselves, it's going to collapse because we just need to be authentic. We just need to be us. And we're multidimensional beings and we're not always happy. We're sad sometimes. We're angry. We're emotional. But this person has cut off all of those emotions. They've deaded that. They don't want anything to do with those emotions. I would be shocked if there's not at least one Pisces person in here because I feel hella Pisces energy. But that being said, if it helps a little bit, I do think you've gotten them to be more vulnerable than most people have. So I think that's why you're kind of stuck on this person and there's still like an energetic cord between you two. You got closer to this person's heart than most people ever have. And I think that's why you're having trouble with this because like maybe you've heard things about their past relationships and like, or maybe they really didn't do relationships and you were the first one, or like maybe you reached depths that most people didn't. And so you're like, well, I can get through to them or I touch their heart in a way that most people don't. You're right. But again, they're just not going to reach the depths that you can reach. And the further down you are willing to go, the more you are going to trigger this person. And then they would either ghost or they'd need distance or they'd go hang out with their friends for a week and disappear. It's giving like, oh, sorry, my phone died. But in reality, it's like, I don't want to deal with this. This is too intense. I need to pull away. So they were always going to be hot and cold with you because they can't touch their own emotions. It's like, I need to keep all of that within because I don't want to be anything other than strong. But I think you and I can both agree that was not them being strong. They're not strong. They're avoidant. They're very avoidant. And so for this group, in terms of closure, but this Ace of Swords came up in most of these groups. I think because it's Mercury retrograde. That's probably why I'm drawn to do this. That's probably also why I'm having trouble talking. There is potential for this person to reach out. I think for most of you, you guys know that this is founded on nothing. It's giving smoke and mirrors. Like, I think a lot of you know that. It feels like a 50-50 split. Some of you are like, I love this person. I've reached depths of them that most people haven't. I see their potential. I wish there could be more. I don't understand why they won't let me get in. It's like, I see your wounds. I want to fix you, but that's not your job. They need to fix themselves and they have a long ways to go. This comedic energy, this fun, this lighthearted energy, it's a coping mechanism for all the pain that they're in. It's like, I'm pushing it down, I'm pushing it down, I'm pushing it down, to the point that maybe they're not even realizing it's still there. That's how much this person has escaped their trauma. So you haven't even really met this person yet because they've hidden so many different sides of them. You've met the best version of them, the puffed up, like, this is the best version. You know what I'm seeing? I'm seeing SpongeBob when he wants to do weights, and so instead of building muscles, he gets those like inflatable arms. That's this person. Instead of doing the work to be muscular, they got inflatable arms. Instead of doing the healing work to be what you need, they say the right shit. It's that. They can't go there. The wounds are so deep that they just can't go there. It's how you fell for their comedy, their humor, their lightheartedness, which is a beautiful thing to have, but that needs to be a personality trait, not a coping mechanism. I think you like the personality trait of someone who's lighthearted and funny, and that's a good thing to have, and you should continue to go after someone like that. But this person is doing it because, like, I'm hearing self-deprecating. So maybe, like, they make jokes like, oh, I'm fat, or it's like, I'll beat you to the punch. Like, I'm going to make fun of myself so that you don't make fun of me. I'm going to, you know how, like, because I'm being drawn to, like, comedians that are, like, they'll capitalize on what they hate about themselves. Like, yeah, I'm fat, and so I call oh my God, like, if you've ever seen the movie Pitch Perfect, how Fat Amy's like, yeah, I call myself Fat Amy so that you skinny bitches don't do it behind my back. That's the vibe of this person. I'm going to be funny so that you don't recognize my shame. I'm going to poke at myself so that you don't poke at me. You're going to love me for my humor so that you don't see all the parts of myself that I hate. This person low-key hates themselves. To what extent, it depends on the individual, but If that will help you get closure, this person could never love you because they don't love themselves. And if they loved you, it was at a surface level because, again, they can't reach the depths of themselves. They have so much shame and so much self-hatred that, like, they saw your worth, and I want you to know that they saw how amazing you were, and part of them wanted to do better. Part of them wanted to be what you need. But I'm hearing this lyric where it's, I don't want to share it because I wrote the song, but it's a line, I don't know how to be what anyone expects of me, but I'll find these masks. They fall away with time, basically. And that's the vibe of this. It's like, maybe if I date someone of your caliber, then I can be what I want to be. Because I'm hearing the song, I know I can be what I want to be if I work hard at it. But I feel like this person, again, has this, like, learned helplessness. So I feel like I see them with, like, with anchors on their ankles, and they're at the bottom of the water, and it's like they got their hands out and they want you to grab them from the water and bring them up and pull them out and save them. It's giving Cinderella. A lot of these groups have a lot in common. So you guys are not alone. I hope you guys comment all down below because you'll see you have a lot in common. But this person just couldn't reach you where you were at because they're drowning in their own pain, and you've already found a way to work through your pain. They haven't, and so it's not your job. Yeah, literally. They did not put the work in with you, with their own stuff, and so it's just like this learned fogginess. Yeah, they're too in their head. They're too in their analytical mind. They might have ghosted, or you cut them off. Somebody just went silent is what I'm feeling from this card. So you might be like, what the hell? Like, we already put all this time into it, and then it's like out of the blue to you, or maybe you just was like, enough, and then you cut them off. Someone cut somebody off, or someone just pulled back their energy, retreated. But it's because this person, I feel like they talk a good game, but when it comes to emotions, they're not there. So they sold you a fantasy. They sold you everything you wanted to hear. It's giving like pillow talk. It's like, I say the right things. I'm lusty. I give you what you want in terms of, like, you know, filling the idea of love in the honeymoon stage. But they couldn't back it up because they can't reach that level of depth within themselves. And that's what you are up against. So you were never the problem. They really did have feelings for you. They really did even want to level up for you. Like, this group kind of, I could see why it really sucks for you, because it's like they did want to level up. They just couldn't. They couldn't, and they can't, and they won't. And it's not your responsibility. This person has to heal on their own, and they have to realize that their emotions matter, and that they have to drudge up the old shit that they're avoiding. This person really needs therapy. And I'm not saying it as a dig. I'm saying it as like there's a lot of, because I keep hearing Eminem, I'm cleaning out my closet. So maybe they got mommy issues. I don't know. But it's giving like, I have put away all of this trauma. I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to laugh. I'm going to keep a smile on. But people like that, they fall apart very quickly. Just one trigger, one snap, and they're gone. And so I feel like you were dealing with a wishy-washy, hot and cold, back and forth. Don't know what you're going to get from them. It's like putting your hand in a bag of Skittles and trying to guess the color. Like, you got a shot, but it's not a good one. You know what I mean? So this person is just, they're not going to level up unless they do some inner work alone. So for some of you, you might be worried about like, oh, they're going to date someone else and like they'll fix them and they'll be what like I couldn't be. But in reality, if they do date someone else, it's going to be the same thing over again, because again, they need to heal. They need to go to therapy. This person really needs therapy, and I'm not digging at them. I'm simply saying they got a lot of trauma that they're trying really hard to avoid, and they think that that's how they're going to succeed in life, and it's not. And this person is headed towards a breakdown. So if they broke down with you in the past, I see it continuing. I see it getting worse. I see this person leaning on substances more. I see this person getting a little bit more erratic. I see this person kind of just, they have the weight of the world on their shoulders, and I'm not making excuses for the fallout of this relationship. I'm trying to get you to see what you were up against. They had a lot of weight on their shoulders of a lot of pain that they never dealt with, and they were bringing that into this relationship, and then they were trying to make you feel good, while at the same time they didn't feel safe at all. They want love, but at the same time it's the very thing that scares them. And so when that's the headspace you're in, You're going to get close, but you're going to run away. This person's a runner. This person's wishy-washy. This person's going to do it to anybody else that they date unless they take a solid like year off and dedicate it to therapy. This person, if you're seeing them dating other people, or if it says single on their Facebook and now you're like, oh God, someone's going to take my place, I promise you the next person's going to have to deal with the same shit. In fact, I almost guarantee it's going to be worse because it feels like they're reaching a point in their life where they can't escape what they've been through. It's like it's giving like the monster under the bed. It's coming up. It keeps coming up. It's like word vomit. They can't avoid what it is that they're running from. And so you got out before it got bad, to be honest with you. This person's either going to get really bad or they're going to get kind of bad and go to therapy, but like they definitely need to do some work and it's going to get ugly for them. So again, this person's not grounded. They were going to get you out of your energy. I'm sure that they did because it just feels like a whirlwind romance that was built on nothing because this person just, in order to be here, right, coherent, evolved, a part of life, then things are going to come up for you to deal with. We've all been through that. Well, when things come up for this person, they bat it down continuously. And when you bat down thing after thing after thing, eventually it takes over you. So I'm concerned about this person's mental health. So I know I've said this in like pretty much all piles, but you really dodged a bullet because I feel like this person's headed towards a nervous breakdown or, I don't know, a bad decision maybe. Like I could see for a couple of you, this person could be the type that drinks to escape and then they get a DUI or they go into a car accident, God forbid, or, smoke too much, get pulled over, get arrested. Like it's giving like, I escaped my life so much that consequences are soon to follow. So you might have been dating someone that now will be on the other side of a jail cell. You know what I mean? This person's headed in a bad direction if they don't take control back of their lives and face the shit that they're running from. And I feel like you probably were like, talk to me, tell me what's going on. Like, let me help you. They need a therapist to do that. They need a professional. They can't lean on somebody. They don't know how. Back deck energy. Yeah, I feel like you felt like you were very deceived. Maybe they left and said it was for work. Maybe they left because they were like, I can't juggle responsibilities, whatever it is. I feel like the breakdown, really, you feel like you got, like, some of them could have been cheated. Take it if it resonates. I don't feel that for most of you. This feels more like someone took their energy because someone was just all mask, no background to fit the mask. You know what I mean? This person... I'm seeing the movie The Mask quite literally. It's like, I'm going to play myself up. I'm going to look like I got it all together. But in reality, I didn't have anything together. And I think you started to catch on to that, which is, it was a mixture of like you catching on to that. So either some of you caught on to it and then tried to heal them, or some of you caught on to it and tried to call them out. Either way, that was the demise of this because they can't face reality. And you were more than willing to face reality, and so that's why this just kind of spiraled out of control because they like living in their mind, not their heart. Yeah, some of you, they could have been more focused on work and building a lifestyle. They might have found their worth in money because they can't reach their heart. And I just feel like they had a lot of anxiety. I feel like they gave you a lot of anxiety. You could be an empath and like absorbed a lot of it. So you're probably like, how do I help you? How do I fix? But this person is avoiding at all costs evolving. All costs. They put their energy into money. They put their energy into their homeboys, their homegirls. They put their energy into drinking, drugs, partying, whatever. They will do anything to avoid this inevitable breakdown of like, because I hear someone going like, I want my mommy or I want my daddy. I feel like this person is very brokenhearted over childhood situations or just shit, a lot of trauma. This person has a lot of background trauma. I think you know about some of it. I don't even think you know how far it goes for most of you. So I think you should just, because I'm hearing like hater wish you well, but I got clientele. So I think you are in a place right now where it's like, I know you're toxic because I'm hearing the song, you're no good, baby, you're no good. So it's like, I know you're toxic. I wish you the best from all the way over there. This person was meant to teach you that, escapism isn't the way to go and you deserve better than what you settle for. And your dreams can be reality, just not with this person because this person lives purely in fantasy state. You're trying to make your fantasies become a reality. You're more tuned in, turned on, logical in the 3D reality. This person is just doing everything they can to escape their life, and they could never reach you where you're at because I don't even feel like they trusted you, and you had nothing but love to offer them. You know how like we kind of like get triggered by, how do I word this, Spirit? They kind of like call you what they know that they are. So like, for instance, this person could have been triggered because you had so much love to give, and so they might have pulled their energy back like, oh, maybe you're calculating and maybe you're trying to hurt me and blah blah blah. Meanwhile, they were kind of telling on themselves. They're calculating. They work from logic only. They don't go into their heart space. It's more like, logically, do you benefit me? Logically, can we make this work? Logically, are you the right partner? It's never about heart. And you were all heart, and that triggered the shit out of them, and they're not ready to let go of their fantasies. So with this person, it's just kind of like, I'm just hearing the song, That's Just the Way It Is. Some things will never change. For you guys, I just feel like your closure really revolves around you realizing that this person was all talk, no action. This person has a lot of pain. And I think eventually you'll get to a place where you're like, you know what? Like, it sucks. It hurt. But at least I'm not running away from my life. At least I can be present. At least I can be mindful. At least I can find love. Because now I'm being drawn to the movie. He's Just Not That Into You. At the very end, and I feel like this is where you guys are headed. She gets called out by this guy because she believes in love. And she goes, you know what? I may not have love, but I'm a lot closer to finding it, unlike you. And I feel like that's where you need to be. It's like, sure, maybe this didn't work out, and that sucks, and that hurts, and I get it, and that's a lot of pain, and you're valid in those emotions, and you should release and heal and feel them. But you are much closer to finding real love than this person ever will be, because this person can't come down to reality in order to find someone that matches them, a real soulmate. If this person doesn't go to therapy, if this person doesn't learn how to talk about their trauma, they will be attracted to karmics forever. They will never find a healthy love because they don't love themselves. They don't love themselves, so they could never love you the way that you deserve to be loved. And you deserve that level of depth of love because you can give it so freely. So start looking for someone who lives in reality instead of fantasy, because you deserve someone that's going to show up for you. This person wanted to, they just can't. You were dealing with so much trauma that this person just couldn't be what you needed. And so I know that there's a lot of love for a significant amount of you. There was a lot of love here, and I feel like this ache, like I wish I could have saved you, but I couldn't. And that's valid, and you're right to feel that way. And I feel like this did have a lot of innocence to it, a lot of love. There was love there. It's just that this person doesn't know how to reach you where you're at because they're in a lot of pain. So, you know, pray for them, wish them well, but you deserve someone who's going to show up, and they don't know how to do it. And they knew that you deserved that as well. Like, I need you to know that. They knew you deserved that, and that's why they tried to sell you the world, because they couldn't show up for it. So they told you all the things, and they tried to be what you needed to the best of their ability, but they always fell short because they couldn't show up for themselves. So this isn't like, I wanted to use and abuse you. It doesn't feel mean and vindictive like some of the other piles. This feels more like, I want you, I wish for you in another lifetime maybe, but as much as my heart yearns for you, my heart is also broken, and it can't love you the way you deserve to be loved. So I know with this pile, it just kind of breaks my heart a little bit, because it's like there's no animosity in this group, at least on their end. It's like, I wish I could have been what you needed. I know what you deserve, and I knew I couldn't, and I tried because I wanted to be, but at the end of the day, I'm the accumulation of my trauma, and I had to run away from you, or it had to break down, because eventually you needed to realize that you deserved better. I saw it, you saw it, but you made excuses for me, and I knew that, but at the end of the day, I just can't show up the way you need me to, because I need to fix me first, and this person really needs to fix them first. So, I mean, for this group, I could see some of you guys, again, this person would really need to heal themselves in order for you two to come back together. They would need to heal. They would need to work on themselves. They would need to go to therapy at least once a week. This person has a lot of shit that they need to like unravel. They have a good heart, which is why I see why a lot of you might still be stuck, because it's like, yeah, I see their trauma, and yeah, I see how they can't show up for me, but I also see that they're a really good person. I see that they do deserve the world, and they are a good, it's hard. This one's tough. I see why you guys are stuck. They're not a bad person. They're not a douchebag. They're not a hit it and quit it. They're very lost. And You deserve better. And I feel like for this pile, I think you've learned that you deserve better. And I think you're going to get it. Honestly, I do. As long as you continue to stick to your boundaries and knowing your worth. But yeah, this person's just going through it. I think you should wish them well and see them in another lifetime. There was love there. You don't have to gaslight yourself with that one. They did love you to the ability that they could, but at the end of the day, they don't love themselves, and that's not a reflection of you. You deserve someone who's going to love you, and in order for someone to love you, they have to love themselves. So moving forward, when you meet someone, don't just listen to what they say. Listen to how they treat themselves. Listen to how they talk about themselves. Listen to how they talk about their exes. Listen to how they treat their waiters. A lot of people, everybody tells on themselves about how they feel about themselves because they project it onto others. So moving forward, in order to not attract someone like this again, don't get swept up in all the words. Make sure that their actions match it. So if they say like, hey, I want to take you out on this romantic ass date, then be like, okay, but don't get swept up in it until that date actually happens. You know what I'm saying? So that we don't repeat this cycle again. Because I know you see the potential in people, and you were right. This person does have a lot of potential. I don't know that they're going to live up to it in this lifetime, though. This pile especially, they need a lot of therapy in order to get there. And you deserve to find that. The love that you're searching for, I don't think they're going to level up in time. So this one's kind of heartbreaking. This one lasted the longest. I guess this was my favorite because I just understand where you're coming from. This person wasn't inherently a bad person. It's just that they're the accumulation of their trauma, and you were never going to be able to get through to them because in order for them to reach that hearty energy, they have to let go of all the baggage, and they don't even know where to begin. So I'm going to leave it at that. I hope this was helpful. If it was, please leave it a like. It really does support my channel. My heart goes out to y'all. That one was really hard. But yeah, if you enjoyed these, let me know down in the comments, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I will see you guys in my next reading. So take care. Love you, besties. You got this. Bye.
The Comic, the